Hey guys, Mega Man NG here, and we've made it this far. Here is my short episode review, or rather a quick episode review of this week's episode of TMNT, Earth's Last Stand. Everything that has happened since the start of Season 4 has come to this. In some ways, this is a mid-season finale. A finale that I feel was amazing. It was awesome. It was epic. Trying to explain it would be very difficult. I recommend watching the episode for yourself because, to be honest, it was satisfying. And the fact that we're not going to be getting any new TMNT for a while is pretty upsetting. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to provide a little synopsis of what the episode's about, as well as what I liked and disliked about it. So let's get started. Continuing on from the events of last week's episode, The Ever-Burning Fire, the Turtles are at a race against time to save their home from the Triceratons. However, with the 3 pieces of the black hole generator in place, Mozart and his forces plan to make sure that Earth gets wiped out because remember, around the end of Season 3, that Earth was basically the last outpost for the Kraang, as in these guys with the brains, right? And yeah, it becomes intense. But what makes it even more emotional is that the Turtles, along with April and Casey, learn the truth about the Fugitoid, Professor Honeycutt, as well as the true purpose of the black hole generator, as in who created it. When I found out about it, I was shocked. I really was shocked. And to be fair, it was just, my God. Yeah. For those of you who have already seen the episode, yes, Professor Honeycutt, aka the Fugitoid, was in fact responsible for the creation of the black hole generator. He had good intentions. How do I put this? Don't get me wrong. He had good intentions. He wanted to use it to bring peace. But then the Kraang showed up and offered him a huge bounty, so that way they could be using it for their own purposes. Giving into his greed, he accepted. Yes, it happens to a lot of us. Greed consumes all, no matter who or what it is. And when the Turtles found out about it, they were horrified. Even Leonardo, who trusted the Fugitoid, who hoped that by destroying it would help bring peace to the galaxy. He decided to do a reckless plan, which I feel personally was rather awesome. Yeah, Leonardo going up against the Triceratons, that's crazy. And you know how well that ended up. No. My favorite moments happened with the huge battle that took place on Earth between both the past and the future Turtles against the Triceratons. A race against time to save the world. We actually get to see Master Splinter again, fighting against the Shredder. However, unlike Season 3, things actually turn a bit differently. I never saw Season 3, though after this, I may have to start binge watching the entire season, so that way I can get an idea of things. But yeah, the fight ended pretty well, and Master Splinter did kick butt for better or worse. And yeah, I really loved it. The episode was a great way to end the first half of the season. The best part about it was that Earth is saved, and their journey has taken them to, a conclusion. Not to mention, one of the most emotional moments I loved in the show was the Fugitoid sacrifice. We now know as to why the Fugitoid had to drop them off. He had a reason. He didn't want them to get involved in doing what he did. He committed many sins, and he hoped to make amends. And by doing this, it further proves that there are second chances. Second chances can be possible. And I feel that amounted to a lot of character development. What's sad is that this is going to be the last time we're going to be hearing David Tennant. David Tennant did an amazing performance as the Fugitoid. An amazing job. You could almost feel bad for him. You could almost feel angry at him for what he did back then. And you can also feel bad that we may never see him again. The ending, the way at the end notwithstanding. But the point is that, yeah, I feel that next to Transdimensional Turtles, this is one of the best episodes in the entire season so far, from start to finish. And sure, the ending can be somewhat a bit overwhelming, but it doesn't stop the fact that all around their journey had led them to the end. And it was so satisfying, so awesome, that it makes you wonder, where do you go from here? Where do you go from here now that the Earth is saved? Now that the Triceratons have been defeated? Lord Drac has been defeated, though truthfully, I should have mentioned this in my review last week. Yes, Lord Dread dies. It's the last time we see him, and it will also be the last time we see the Triceratons. What'll happen to Mona Lisa or Commander Sal? And what's going to happen to the Kraang now that the Triceratons are completely defeated? Wiped out? Who knows? All I do hope is that the second half of Season 4 is a good one. So, what do I rate it? I gave it a 9 out of 10. It is one of the best episodes. I could have gave it a perfect 10, but I think a 9 is beneficial enough because the only complaint I have is that it should have been at least an hour long, a 2-parter at best. It would have been so much more enjoyable. Seeing the past and future turtles actually working together, yes, it did happen in the episode, and the ending had the Fugitoid of the past bringing the turtles from the past into space. Sort of like a paradox. In some way, they created a predestination paradox. And it gives off a little bit of Doctor Who vibes. Who knows if we ever do see the Fugitoid again, because remember, the Fugitoid became an ally to the turtles later on, especially in the 2003 series. Though I hope that this won't be the last time we hear of David Tennant or the Fugitoid. And with the Foot having retreated with the Shredder being defeated, I think this is going to set in motion for the second half of the season. Remember, Karai has gone missing, and I believe this could be an interesting plot point. So who knows? What do you guys think of this episode? Please let me know in the comments what you think of it, and if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. It really does mean a lot to me. Please be sure to share this review around to anyone who's a fan of TMNT, because sadly, this is going to be the last review for a while. I don't know when they're going to have new episodes, but when I do find out, you guys will be the first to know. So yeah, that's it. I hope you all enjoyed this review. It's not much, but the episode, without a doubt, amazing. Not to mention the humor was just so awesome, too. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. This is Mega Man NG, signing off. Peace out.